Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of PlayStation Underground. I'm your host, Brett, and I'm joined by Alex Grimonpont, executive producer at Redbeard Games.
Hey, Brett.
Hello, and I'm also joined by Connor Holt, brand specialist at Hi-Rez Studios.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Glad to have you both with us, and today we're showing off Divine Knockout, which releases on December 6th on PS4 and PS5. Those with PlayStation Plus receive the Founders Edition that contains the game and some goodies noted in the description below. But let's get into the game, Alex. What are we looking at?
So, Divine Knockout, also called Decal, is a platform fighter inspired by physics-based fighting games. And basically, the different thing about it is that instead of being on a 2D plane, really we are putting players right in the middle of the action on the third-person perspective. So you pick different gods of mythologies and battle it out against players. And the goal is get them out of the arena. Simple, right?
Yeah.
Just knock them out.
Yeah, knock them out. The scramble to try to get back to the map, obviously, is where a lot of the chaos, I imagine, comes in. Is, you know, you're launching characters in the air, you're bashing them off, and then now watching whoever that was, I think they just ate it. But yeah, this is Amaterasu gameplay, right?
Yeah, so Amaterasu is a super agile character. She has a lot of different hits that she can do, some uppercuts, a lot of aerial gameplay. So she's the example of a very fast and agile character that we have in the game. And you can select the massive ultimates on two people and then knock them out outside of the arena.
Looking at the bottom here, I see what I imagine are different abilities mapped to like L1, R1, R2 and such.
Yeah, so every character has different attacks on the face button of the controller. So you have a light attack that you can chain. You have heavy attacks, charged heavy attacks, and then you have the air attacks as well. So you have different versions when you're into the air. And then you have 3 abilities on cooldown and 1 big ultimate that you need to charge with dealing damage. I think something that's really cool is one of the part of that's chaotic is coming back on the map. And really what we try to do is one of the abilities, a movement ability, and it's really simple to come back on the map by just the press of one button.
So now we're moving on to King of the Hill. So can you tell us about this mode, what they're trying to accomplish here?
That's really the King of the Hill that you will expect. Get to 100 points by staying in the zone or also eliminating your opponents. But the game features multiple game modes, 3v3 game modes, 2v2s and 1v1s.
I think what's cool as well is like every single map that we have, this one is based on like Merlin's library kind of aesthetic, can be played on multiple game modes. So we see King of the Hill here on this map, but this also could be Knockout, where you just want to knock enemies out. This could also be a couple of other different game modes. So each time you load into a new round, you're kind of not sure what exactly you're going to see.
Nice. So I guess each map is, as the characters are pulled from, you know, mythology from all around the world, I'm guessing the maps pull from those as well.
That's it, yeah.
I have in my notes here that there's a connection to the Smite universe as well.
Yeah, so all of the gods are from the Smite IP. And so they're really our take on the gods from Smite. And they take some similar traits. Like we want to make sure that we pay homage to those characters. So they all features, you know, some quirks and some features of the characters in Smite. But we also expand on it to make sure that they feel really unique in Decal.
Yeah, this is our little twist on some of the things you might have seen on Smite already. So you might be familiar, but it's going to be very different as well, and there's new stuff to find for sure.
Yeah, we wanted to go super colorful, a lot of present effects. We wanted to also go for some kind of a cel-shaded look, more on the Western anime-inspired direction. And so they are super playful characters, but they can also be very fierce, right? Because it's very dynamic gameplay.
The gods are fickle, so in 1 minute they could be very serious, and the next you're having a blast.
That's it. That's exactly that. And really the idea was to go like with the Smite gods and kind of go over the top with them in very extreme version of them.
And then as you play and win and accumulate victories, is there like, what in the way, like character progression, or like each time you win, there's obviously, you know, a benefit to winning. So like what, say I come out of here I come out on top, what would I be going out and back into menus and using to either improve or customize my character in some way, I imagine?
Yeah, so in Decal, basically we have god progression. So you have character progression for all of the gods. You have 20 levels of progression, and then you're going to be able to personalize and customize your character based on that. You have basically talents and a talent loadout that you can load with perks in order to really customize your gameplay.
So it looks like we've zoomed out to a home screen, which, there's your roster right there.
10 characters available at launch, each with some progression built into. We have 20 levels of progression on every god and unlocking some talents. So we have here some traits and blessings. So the traits are for the character that you are progressing, and the blessings are unlocks that you can have for every character into the game. So you can use those blessings on any character. And really the idea is personalize your character and customize it in ways that are very different from one from the other. We've tested that with the team, and they came up with some pretty crazy things, to be fair.
This is another game of Arcade, which is our 3v3 game mode. We do also have 2v2 and 1v1, which we'll showcase in a little bit.
And we're gonna pick my favorite character, Ymir. Let's go.
We went from Amaterasu to Ymir, the small assassin to the big ice giant.
Yeah.
That's it. It's really displaying kind of the breadth of the characters here. Like Amaterasu was all about the speed, the agility, and Ymir is the exact opposite. It's very slow movement, massive AoEs, and still some really cool plays that you can do with Ymir. Can transform into a massive snowball, take on everyone on the map, and then just eject them all at the same time.
And so since everyone here is, making a mad dash for the coins, there's going to be like skirmishes around where the coins are, but then obviously if the goal is to get them back to the chest, there's going to be a bottleneck here in a good way.
Yeah, it's really the mix between little fights and little brawls everywhere on the map to get the coins.
And big boulders that sometimes come in and mess everything up as well.
That's it.
I do like that ice wall. That's cool. Is that what would be some like strategic uses of Ymir's that ice wall? Because you can see like the silhouette of it popping up, where that way you know where you're about to deploy it. Ooh, made it back. Nope.
Nope. Not quite.
But for sure, we were safe, and that was not the case. Is it meant to like absorb incoming damage, or can you like launch people with that if they get caught in it, or?
So you can do some really crazy things. You can put the wall, jump on the wall, and then do some jump attacks from there. You can put the wall and then against projectiles, so protect yourself. And you can hide yourself, so you can hide the attack that you're gonna do, and then remove the wall at the last minute so that you can land the hit.
Yeah, is there any thought here, like with like a team makeup, right? Because you're on a team, so having a well-balanced group where you've got a speedy character, obviously you got kind of a slower, heavier hitter. What are some other, like, if you're building a team, elements that you might want to make sure are represented on that team? That third character, let's say you've got a fast agile, a slow heavy, and then what might that third kind of character be?
So usually our characters, they are made so that they can function by themselves, because that's a game where you have 1v1 and 2v2 as well. But we like to do some combos where you have a lot of AoE damage, like with Soul, for example, who is a fire character with your usual snowballs, fireballs everywhere, and some characters that are more solo, like Amaterasu, for example, where she does a lot of hits on one person at the same time. A massive boulder. Disturbing everyone.
Oh man, I was gonna say that's wrong way. They're gonna make it back from that. And so this is. Let me see what character that was. Looked like King Arthur.
We do have King Arthur in the game right now. Yes.
Yeah. Just speaking to the iconic. You can tell which god it is just on sight. You're like, that sure looks like. I guess Arthur more of a legend or a myth character than a.
Yeah, not necessarily a god, but we're flexible and
yeah.
King Arthur's cool, so we wanted King Arthur.
Yeah, he certainly is. He runs around with that crowd, I feel.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the snowball again, and like that's the winning move. That's beautiful.
Man, red team can't catch a break. Any tips for people who jump in on day one? I imagine you want to like move around the roster a bit and get a feel for different characters.
I think the biggest tip I will have is to learn how to come back on the map, because obviously like the central part of the game is to get you out of the map. So if you learn how to get back, that's a massive improvement to the gameplay you have. And we tried to make it really, really easy. So all of the characters have a movement ability. and they're all guaranteeing you to come back on the map if you use it correctly. So yeah, learning how to do that, I think, is a good first starting point.
This is just an overview of the shop. As a side note, everything here is cosmetic only, nothing impacts gameplay. But yeah, we are going to offer both paid and earned progression onto cosmetics.
We're jumping into another mode here, the 1v1 duel. So you mentioned earlier, like, making sure the characters work in a team dynamic, but also they need to function on their own. And how does that come into play when you're locked in battle with just one other character?
That's where the timing really is important, the positioning really shines. It's the ultimate proof of skill. We think of 1 against 1 and 2 against 2 as the really competitive mode of DKO right now. And you're going to see that the action is really precise. Once you get against a singular person, that gets much more intense.
And you'll see as well with like the 1v1 maps, it's a little bit smaller and the hazards are a little bit less intrusive, you might say. So it really is focusing on like the combat and who is best at running their character.
I saw counter flash up there. How does a counter work in DKO?
So if you do a light and the opponent is doing a heavy, they're gonna counter you. And if they're doing an ability against a heavy, they're gonna counter you as well.
Oh, cool. Does it in a counter? Is that like it negates damage, or it actually you get the upper hand in that interaction?
Yeah, you get the upper hand on this specific case.
This was really fun. I think I'm leaning Amaterasu because maybe that's just because she's on screen right now. But again, everyone can get their hands on Divine Knockout coming to PlayStation Plus on December 6th. Any closing thoughts?
Absolutely can't wait to get to see players in the game.
Yep, super excited.
Again, thanks for bringing the game along, and we'll see you all on December 6th.
PlayStation